Hello guys, today we are reviewing Sigma SGJR-SG200, an all-solid jumbo from Sigma Guitars. I'll be checking out my smartphone often because I wrote a lot of notes that I don't want to miss. So speaking of specifications, the top is solid adirondack spruce, red spruce, which is considered to be premium material, saved for the best instruments. The back and sides are rosewood. I'm pretty sure that's Indian rosewood. Very beautiful grain. Reminds me a lot of the grain of this adirondack as well. Very beautiful, slightly with a slight purple hue. The neck is 3-piece neck, glued like this. Mahogany with a thin strat of walnut. Very beautiful reddish tone applied. The fretboard and bridge are ebony. What else? We have a pickup installed, some sort of LR-Bex pickup, the undersaddle piezo with an end pin jack and tone and volume knob controls. By default, this guitar comes with Grover automatics, which I replaced with Goto. Nut and saddle are bone. The pins are plastic, but right now they are rosewood. And the neck, the nut is 44.5 millimeter wide, which is slightly wider than usual. The neck is gloss finish, round profile, rather fat, and the fretboard radius is 16 inches, which is pretty flat to me. I'm used to 12 or 14. And we have a fantastic soft shell case included. Speaking of fit and finish, this is a gorgeous guitar. The finish is flawless and the woods used are beautiful. I'm speaking of all of them. Spruce, rosewood, mahogany, ebony, almost jet black. Fantastic. As I said, I really like the toner that was applied to mahogany, which is by itself rather bleak in color, but it's so reddish. I love it. And I really love the inlays on the headstock. The inlays in fretboard and bridge are mother of pearl. They are flawless, gorgeous, one-piece inlays. Love them to death. I really like how the Clear adirondack has that creamy color which contrasts great with the dark red pickguard, rosewood and ebony. No tone applied to it, which I like a lot. What else? Speaking of fit and finish, this guitar was stored in some warehouse for 2 to 3 years, and I've been owning it for just 2 to 3 months. No wonder that some frets on the bass side slightly lifted, just a hair above the fretboard. Still no buzzes, no problems at all. The pickguard is almost perfect. There are many different pickguard designs that were used in J-200 style guitars, and I like this one the best. And I'm absolutely serious when I'm saying that this pickguard might be better looking than on many J-200 style guitars, even the modern ones, even the deluxe ones. They are not created equally, or how they say that. Speaking of the sound, this guitar has the most balanced sound of any guitar I've ever owned or maybe played. I always dreamed of Rosewood Jumbo. I expected it to be very rich in overtones, and it's kind of rich in overtones. I'd expected it to be bassy and trebly and powerful, and this guitar meets all that criteria. But to my surprise, the EQ line is sort of straight horizontal line. So this guitar doesn't lack mid-range by any means. It has a great bass. And the trebles are very good as well. Of course, we know that thick, large pickguard and big, heavy bridge are going to be dampening high end, possibly low end as well, but that's the appeal of J200. Gorgeous pickguard, gorgeous bridge. If I remove the pickguard, first of all, it's going to have that what's the word? Sunbathing mark, something like this. So I will have light shape of pickguard that I will never get rid of, and it stays for the beauty. By the way, it doesn't wear from playing at all, this pickguard. It's just great. The sound is very balanced. I have to admit, guitar sounds a bit tight, but we have to consider that it's never been played before. I owned it for just 2 to 3 months. I haven't been playing it that much, and as far as I know, red spruce guitars are tighter than Sitka by default, but when they open up, they trample Sitka in all regards. And I believe this guitar will open up, just as this Sigma opened up drastically, the one with Sitka. So sound is great. Now getting on to the biggest part of this video, my impressions. So as I said, The neck is wide and the fretboard is kind of flat, to my taste. For my large hands and long fingers, it's alright. I can do whatever I want or need to do on this guitar. But for a person with small hands, I would not recommend this instrument because they will be struggling. Unless they really like this, the appeal of J-200. This guitar is relatively heavy. It weighs 2 kilograms, 315 grams, which is a lot for me. My lightest guitars weigh around 18 to 1900, and I'm speaking of all solid dreadnoughts. But this is typical for this style of instrument. I looked up on Sweetwater and many different Gibsons, J-200s, they weigh around the same, which I was surprised. I thought they would be 2 kilograms max, maybe 200. Piezo pickup that it has from factory is pretty good. I was really surprised. I always hated piezo elements, piezo pickups with passion, but this one sounds pretty mellow and pretty good because you can control the tone knob, and I think it sounds better than cheapest piezo pickups from Fishman. I also really like the very lightweight and minimalistic knob controls, and they also look good as well, so that's a win. The lack of normal end pin strap button and the absence of strap button on the heel are slightly overwhelming. On the other hand, thank God they didn't put strap button in some weird place like at the back of the heel or into the side. The build on this example, on this piece, is so far perfect. I'm surprised. When I change string tension, top almost doesn't move at all, and the neck angle is perfect. It's just perfect. I'm really happy about it. It's really important to have proper neck angle so that you have proper string action with proper saddle height. The guitar is thinner than many factory-made Asian or American guitars. It's thinner at the heel by 8 to 10 millimeters, but that's so you lose some depth and some bass, but this guitar still has great bass, and by it being thinner at the heel, it's much closer to the body and it's much more comfortable to play, especially when standing. And so that's a win for me. I mean, I would love it if it was. It's good either way. It's just choosing between apples and oranges. By the way, I do not perform with this instrument, so I pulled out the piezo element. I didn't remove the pickup system, and you're hearing this instrument with no undersaddle element, which improves the tone noticeably. Now getting on to the most interesting part, what would I change about this instrument? I would install proper end pin jack so that it's not as wide as this one, and I can easily put any strap onto it without damaging it or risking to remove the nut of the end pin jack. I would put strap button into the proper place. I would install bone or plastic bridge pins from the factory, the way they do. Sigma does that for the Martin and some for the Martin copies. Why don't they do it with Gibson? I don't know. I would put some pearl or abalone rosette, but that's just my personal opinion. It's not a typical feature of a J200, so that's debatable. The most important thing that I would change, not the most, then I would put open tuning machines, because they make headstock way less, and therefore we have less neck dive, and guitar sounds better as well, because it's not as tight, the neck is not as tight. And the most important thing I would change about this guitar is the neck. As I said, for me it's alright. I have big palms, pretty long fingers, but I would still either or make nut narrower, change the neck profile to be thinner or a V-shaped. I would definitely make the neck satin and possibly decrease fretboard radius so it's more curved instead of rather flat. And finally, I would brace it slightly lighter, especially the back braces, which are very beefy, but on the other hand you get very stable and very sturdy instrument. So concluding this review, we're getting to the question of, was it worth it to purchase this guitar, or is it worth it for you? Recommended retail price for this instrument is around $1,900. I purchased it for around $1,800. I always dreamed of all solid jumbo, and I always dreamt of having rosewood jumbo, because my first all solid guitar was Epiphone J-200, and wow, man, all solid rosewood just got me. And what can I say? I always dreamt of guitar like this. And can we speak of competitors a bit? Yes, we can. The cheapest competitor is Yamaha LJ16, which is a small jumbo. It's smaller, it doesn't have beautiful inlays, it doesn't have beautiful pickguard, it doesn't have beautiful bridge, it doesn't look like J200. It's reminiscent, but it doesn't look like J200. And it sounds pretty tight. On the other hand, it costs around $1,000. So that might be an option. Then we have Geldern, which a few years ago produced an all-solid Sitka rosewood jumbo, which was gorgeous, and it costs as well around $900 to $1,000, $1,000–$1,000. But it's no longer in production. It's almost impossible to find, and it's not a J200 copy, but it's very beautiful in its own way. Then we have modern Geldern jumbos, which have cutaways and look much worse, and have preamps installed into the sides. Not my thing. Finally, we have Epiphone J200, inspired by Gibson, which was released 2 to 3 years ago. And what else? I wanted to love this guitar, but I just can't. First of all, they applied very awful toner to it. It looks greeny, sometimes like an orange. Very strange coloring. Some of them look good, some of them look bad. Many of them have very awful Indian laurel bridge and fretboard, which look horrendous, anemic. Very light brown color, very cheap. Don't like that at all. What else? They also their shape is different. They are very tight here and a bit angular here, and their pickguard is not as beautiful, and they have, instead of having hollow parts in the bridge, they are filled with pearl, which is beautiful, but it impedes the movement of the top even more. On the other, but they have thinner nuts, thinner neck. It's semi-gloss, so it's more comfortable. They have beautiful headstocks, and they have proper lightweight tuning machines, which is a win. But they also sound not as great. So for me, I love the fact that I bought this instrument. I'm really enjoying it, and there's no competition with it. There's no better J-200 copy. And I guess that's it. Thank you very much for watching this review. I have a few other reviews and few other reviews coming up on my channel, so please share this video, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, etc, etc. Thank you for having me. Bye bye.